All right, bottom left here, we have Astrea. And in the top right, we have DRG. And the map is Ancient Cistern. All right, this is going to be really fun. Astrea has a lot of different builds. Looks like he is going for the block. There's an Overlord being made, so he's not using the 15 hatch, which means the block will occur, which will force DRG to put his hatchery somewhere else, which will allow for better harassment with Adepts and Oracles. By the way, we did follow Astrea a lot last week. He did fantastically last week, got to the finals, and had some really, really cool builds. I hope we get to see some of them again. Like, he had a 2-gate opener that went into like 3 Stargate Void Ray afterwards. It was super neat, man. I really hope that he busts some of that out against DRG here today, but we'll see. We'll see. This looks very standard from him for game number 1, though. Nothing out of the ordinary. Yep, all normal. And, of course, doing the little bit of mining harassment there. Deny your opponent, you know, mining their minerals a little tiny bit with your probe. Hi, Uggies. He meant it that way the first time. Hi, Uggies. I was talking to you guys in the chat. Of course, if you want to check out Mapu, you can use the command Mapu. He's our wonderful observer here, the best StarCraft observer that there is. We hire him weekly for making this a much better show. If it was me observing, you guys wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like it. It would be bad. My observing is so bad, man. Whenever I watch back something that I casted and observed, I'm getting better. I'm getting better. If you want to, you can check out Artosis casts, where every day I upload minimum 1 game of Pro Brood War that I commentate and observe. And I'm getting better. So right now, the probe just kind of checking and double checking everything. What's being made from the larva, what's hatching, are you making a queen, all these things. Adepts being made, and of course the Stargate coming up as well. You're gonna want to get into those oracles and get some harassment done, no doubt. All right, first Adept coming up. He's not really going to get too much done right here. Good army placement there from DRG. Yeah, never was going to finish that one. Tries to poke in, but the queen comes back a bit too quickly. Only losing some shields. Doesn't really matter. Those will heal really quickly when out of combat. Oracle be coming along very shortly here. Astrea right now mostly staying in the darkness with his Adept. A little bit hard for DRG to see. He's taking good, smart paths. Now, probably we'll see Astrea go ahead and take his expansion pretty quickly here. That's the norm with opening up with Oracle Adept. You go ahead and take that 3rd base. Some Zergs have, because this has become so common, like, this is such the standard opener for this matchup. Some Zergs have been making a few more lings than what we see DRG has there. Like, if you make an additional, like, 8 lings, generally you're going to be able to pop in there and do some damage, whether you surround the Adepts that are there and the probe, maybe you get the pylon, maybe you can even cancel a Nexus. We saw that some last week. But yeah, it's such a standard, but the interesting thing is what happens after this 3rd base, right? Because you're doing some harassment and everything, and honestly, the harassment has been pretty much non-existent from Astrea. He has not pushed for it. You know? We used to have a joke that even the best defense, you would always get 2 drones at least from the first Oracle. Alright, flies in. Gets a couple lings, a couple drones, a few drones. Not too much. It's, you know, not the end of the world here for DRG. DRG will start +1 melee. That's become pretty popular as well. Oh! +1 and charge. Well, if your opponent's going Ling heavy, that is going to be a great choice for you. You know, obviously, everyone knows that with that +1 cell attack, you 2-shot Lings. And, you know, once upon a time, there was actually a meta in Brood where you would rush +1 carapace. That doesn't exist anymore. People use Hydras instead of Lings nowadays. But, yeah, the same thing could apply here, right? So that +1 melee will allow the Lings to kill things more quickly. Probably more for counterattacks than anything else. Against the Zealots, they are going to die very, very quick. Oh, 5 drone kills. Okay, I actually was not really paying attention to that. Since it wasn't on the stream. But, yeah, I mean, reasonable. Reasonable from DRG. I mean, from Astrea. Templar Archives coming up rather quickly. This is actually very refreshing to see, I have to say. Because we've seen mostly Robo Splash in PvZ for a while. Now, there is a possibility this is just for Archons, and he wants to hit like a 2 Archon mass charge lot move with the Prism. Let's see if he... it kind of looks like that might be it. And you know what? If you hit this before any Banelings are done, and also before that Hydralisk Den is done, it's really good. All right, Ling's coming around the other side here. We'll find this Adept and get the pickup. Or not. They just run away right before he dies. They're feeling guilty about what they did. Observer here to help him clear a little bit. We hear some stasis wards going down. Now, he has a lot of energy on these because he barely harassed, he barely scouted with them. That might be because he wants to do, like, a push with them, or maybe he wants to turn them on during the battle. Okay, Banelings are being made, so, like, this push is almost done, I think, honestly. Once the Banelings are out, the charge lots become so fragile. Obviously, the Archons can do well, but they can't carry you all the way because the other units will target them down. Okay, some okay, reasonable harass. Keeps the Oracles alive. Always like to see. Prism on the side, ready to do some harassment. He's going to force a cancel there very quickly. Very nicely done. Right? He does get the cancel, right? Yes. Kind of annoying there for Astrea, but it's not the end of the world. His economy is still very solid, both sides on 75 workers. Nexus gets restarted. Storm almost done. But yeah, like I was saying before, we've had so many games with robo-based splash damage. I'm very excited to see Storm first here, as opposed to like a Colossus timing or Disruptors. Just anything fresh is really fun in StarCraft 2, I think. All right, continued Hydra upgrades right now. Baneling speed is almost done as well. Immortal being made. Not that the Immortal does much here. Like, it can absorb a lot. Blink coming up. +2 is almost done as well. And try to snipe this Queen. See if he gets it. No. Picks it up instead. Hey, look at that. We got a Krail box of Zealots in there. Green, red, orange, yellow. It's like a rainbow. Okay, a lot of Banes being made. A huge Ling Bane Hydra tech going to be coming in. Now, for tanking units, he has 3 Immortals, 3 Archons. He does have double Oracle, so there is a possibility that we have some very good Stasis Wards up. But then he also has 6 High Templars, right? Now, let's see how this goes, because if you hold this just right, like if he doesn't lose any of his High Templars here, Astrea is in very good shape. Okay. Okay, makes an Archon, makes 2 Archons, loses the other ones, doesn't have great anti-Hydra anymore. The Zealots, Charge Lots coming in, but there's still Banelings. So a little bit of an issue, but hold on, a little bit of a counterattack going on. Is he going to end up killing this off? Okay, so I gotta say, now DRG has, well, he has 78 drones behind this. I think he can just make exactly that unit comp and go again. Now, this is the thing about Ling Bane Hydra. Ling Bane Hydra against Protoss, it's all about Protoss unit retention. That is the only thing that you're really looking at, as long as there's steady economies. If there's not steady economies, then it's like some sort of all-in attack. Here, DRG can remake. But he reduced the Archon count dramatically. He reduced the High Templar count dramatically. Now, we're seeing Astrea rewarp those, but when the Lingbane Hydra player is doing these attacks, but you actually retain a reasonable amount, and each time they attack, you retain a little bit more, that's where the Lingbane Hydra strategy falls apart. Because it's all just about tanking enough damage and throwing Psystorms down. But it does seem like DRG wants to do that attack again. Again, I think that that is probably the right play here. 2 carriers on the way. You know, honestly, when your opponent is staying Lingbane Hydra, I don't think you need to do a carrier switch. I think that's actually a weak move. Like, it's like a win more. All you have to do is continually stop the Lingbane Hydra. All right, some good storms go down. Beautiful storms, in fact. Trying to chase down some of these Hydras. They're very weak. Okay, a decent storm there as well. Popping some Lings. Good spreads of cannons as well. Out of range, so the Banelings don't, you know, they cause splash to more than one at once. 3rd Stargate coming up. This is starting to look pretty damn good for Astrea, man. For sure. He's keeping some good harass on. No full secondary attack game. He's refilled his High Templar count reasonably well. Now he does have the carriers out. The massive attack did not come from DRG. Continual harassing with this Prism, by the way. This very red Prism has been going and going and going. Just keeping DRG busy is really fantastic while he builds his army core, right? That's the thing. Like, Protoss armies scale ridiculously when it's carrier High Templar type armies. Like, they just get stronger and stronger and stronger. So if you can just throw away some units, and as long as you are adding to the quality of your army as Protoss, you're getting ahead. Now, Lurker Den coming up, Hive as well. You know, this is one of the things about Lingbane Hydra. Sometimes you get very late into that Hive tech. Some Zealots rooting around the map. Gonna maybe harass that base on the right. Dude, there's about to be so many carriers out here. I don't believe we have a Spire, by the way. Now, hear me out. This is the funny thing. I think he needs to make a couple Infestors. I think you're going to need Microbial Shroud. I know it's a funny thing, because Microbial Shroud, it feels like it's a bullseye. You're like, send your Disruptor Shot or your Psystorm here. But for those of you who don't know, Microbial Shroud is an often made fun of new ability for the Infestor. Well, it's not new. It's years old now, and it's barely ever used. But it adds like 3 anti-air armor to everything under it. So it's kind of like a Dark Swarm in a way. So like carriers do far less damage, right? It's better than a Guardian Shield. But again, it doesn't move. You kind of place it down. And then it's like, okay, well, that's where the units are. Psystorm that. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. He needs something for anti-carrier. Excuse me. Uh-oh, the hiccups might be back. Looks like trying to break in through the Lurkers. This is, well, he's got so many Immortals. The Archons are mostly popping. Excuse me again. If he happened to have a Spire here, that could have been a great moment for him to switch into Corruptor, but he does not. So it's going to be more Viper Hydra heavy. Spire gets started. The Spire is a bit late. It's a bit late to switch into Corruptor. Excuse me again, sorry. I think that he should switch into Corruptor. Okay, I'm going to hold my breath for a minute. All right, here we go. Ready? Oh. Okay, let's see if that got rid of it again. All right, so anyways, some good pushes going down. The 5 Immortals really key to knocking out some of these. Like, they don't look like they fit in the comp that well, but they really chunk down the Lurkers and the Spores and, you know, add that bit of armor. The second Spire as well as Greater Spire on the way. You know, the one problem here is there's not going to be any upgrades on these Corruptors. It's going to be like Sue playing. Great spread here from Astrea, by the way. Changelings running in. And here he goes, a big spread attack. All right, the Abducts are good. The Psystorms are amazing, though. He Psystorms the hell out of those Hydras that the Abducts went on. The Hydra's doing a great job against the Archon Immortal here as well. Dude, this was a pretty darn good job from DRG, but there's still too many carriers. GG is called. And Astrea gonna take game number 1. A very nice, very big macro game. Very fun watching Astrea. I think he played that really masterfully. He's in great shape right now. Great shape. Not responding to you guy in the chat. Thanks for the subs, guys. I appreciate it. We do have a sub goal for StarCraft 2 ladder play. If you want to go ahead and use your subscription, your Prime right now, that's a great time to do it. Also follow the channel, of course. I cast this tournament every week. And, of course, a lot of Brood War playing. All right, guys. Here we go. Going in to game number 2. So we have Astrea in the top left of Neo-Humanity. In the bottom right, we have DRG. All right, this is the map that Astrea was doing his 2-gate opener on. God, I hope he does that 2-gate opener, man. It's really, really cool. I really, really hope. Throws his pylon down. We'll go ahead and scout. Yeah. See, Mapu knows. He remembers from last week. Against both Solar and Dark. Astrea beat Solar and then... No. He beat Dark last week and then lost to Solar in the finals. That's what happened. But yeah, he had this very cool build that didn't work either time. That, again, I'm hoping and praying that he'll do again because it was really fascinating. And I think, you know, over the course of a week, maybe he's got it even better. Turns around, doesn't chase the drone all the way. That's something that, was it? No, I think it was Dark was doing to him. Where he would chase the drone, and then Dark would send another drone to the natural and just make it late. So, doesn't want to deal with that. I don't see a second probe going towards the natural. We'll see if it's just going to be a standard game. I mean, he played so well in that previous game against DRG. Maybe he just wants to play a standard macro game, right? That would make sense. It does look like that's probably where he's going to go. Oh, no? Oh, do it, dude. Do it. No, just Cybercore. Cybercore Nexus. That's fine. That's fine. It's not going to be the build that we were looking for. Probe going to turn around, go back. Not sure what it was out there doing. Oh, maybe it was just checking for a proxy hatch. That makes sense. That does happen occasionally. DRG, not as much of a type of guy to do that. I've seen him proxy hatch, but it's not nearly as much as some other players will. Someone like Dark or Ragnarok, much more likely to pull the trigger on that. So drones just being sent. Adept on the way as well as Warp Gate. So maybe not a Stargate, or maybe he's trying to throw off the scouting of the Stargate. I don't think it's going to be a Stargate opener, though. It's like the build is so far off at this point. The Stargate would be so late. Is he just going to make a third Nexus? Now, that would be something, wouldn't it? A third Nexus! All right! All right! This is why we're here. Oh, I love to see it, man. Okay, so this third Nexus is really bizarre. You never really see this. But, Neo-Humanity, you can mine out the mineral patches, those little gold patches. And look, he's just keeping him busy right now. He's keeping him busy. He actually finishes the shade. A little bit of micro here. He's acting like he wants to harass. You know, right now, if I'm DRG, I think this is a Glaives build. Okay? The signals he's given, it feels like a Glaives build. Anyways, the Sentry backs up. Another gate there. I believe DRG may have just scouted the Nexus. I believe he may have just seen it. Now, when you scout it this late, do you have time to punish? I don't believe so. I do not believe that you can. Now, if you are already being aggressive, then you probably could have punished this and maybe killed him. But it wasn't the case. DRG was doing a macro build. The probe was alive. He had a good idea of what was going on. So this third Nexus, just so quick. He's going to have to, excuse me, play pretty darn defensively. Lots of drones coming out for DRG. And DRG may just take a greedy macro approach against this and say, you know what? Let's go up to 70 drones. I'm loving this right now. This is just fascinating. Such a different play than what we're used to. Sentry just sitting in that little gold mineral area. Now, what Astrea lost to previously on this map, he did have fast thirds on this map, but it was like a weird build where he went like 2 gate into 3 Stargate. But he was losing to very quick attacks from like Roach, Ravager, Queen type stuff. Here, he's doing something very different, but still with a fast third. A faster third, in fact. 2 Stargate. Oh, well, you know what? Similar thing, different order, right? Double Stargate doesn't sound bad at all here. What do you make? Okay? What do you make? Because there's arguments for Phoenixes, for Oracles, and for Voids. I think Phoenixes least. Oh, but if you're getting +1, it might be Phoenix. That would make the most sense. If you're getting +1, it's not Oracles. +1 goes best with Phoenix. We're going to see in a moment. Oh, that probe's stuck, man. All right, so we're going to be on 3 Stargate, and it is going to be Phoenix. Fascinating. Okay, so 3 Stargate Phoenix from here. Obviously, you can't go Spire. The Roaches can't really do anything. You want more of a Ling-based approach against that. And he can switch out of the Phoenixes, too, don't forget, right? Like, just because you go for, like, 3 Stargate Phoenix for a bit, I mean, you can switch it over into something else. But Phoenixes will do well for a bit, for sure. Dude, this is such a cool game. This is such a cool game. All right, Forge and Twilight coming up. So, I mean, I would imagine that you're going to go charge with this. You don't generally want to go Blink Stalkers and Phoenixes at the same time. It doesn't really complement each other. They both kind of do the same thing when you think about it. So yeah, I would like to see charge and +1 attack. As the Robo coming up here as well. A lot of Phoenixes flying around. We'll see what type of harassment damage he can do. He has to be able to defend with them still, though. You know, there could be some weird world in which he kills a bunch of drones and then doesn't have enough lifts to deal with a massive army that DRG makes. Funny stuff like that can happen. You start whittling Roaches. Yeah, looks like it. Okay, so only kills a few drones. Starts going after the army now. +1 on the way. We still don't see the Twilight upgrade. Charge. We gonna see charge? All right, so more harass. More harass. It's a lot of queens out there. And there is the charge. Okay, but he doesn't have that many gates yet. I'm actually getting slightly nervous for Astrea. He's dealing more and more damage. But that's a pretty serious army, man. You need your Phoenixes to be able to lift those. He only has, what does he have, 6 lifts? Well, I guess 6 lifts is going to be enough, right? It's 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, you know what? He even has more. He has 2 more now. All right, so he actually reduces the Ravager count dramatically. Charge is not done, so he actually has to buy a little bit more time. More roaches coming up. You know, with this many queens, you're going to get a lot of transfusions out there as well. Lifts up an egg. Going to be able to get it. Pulls back, pulls back. Three more Phoenixes on the way. He is not giving this tech root up. I like it. Brave call. Immortal joins. Another Ravager bites the dust. See, this is the exact type of attacks that have been killing him on this map. All right, gonna pick up the Ravagers once again. Really reducing them quite a bit. You know, the Queens, don't forget, like, the Queens are attacking the Phoenixes for the most part here, so they're actually taking some damage for the army as well. But no shield batteries left over. That one Immortal did get picked off quickly. The other one behind the Adepts, doing some serious heavy lifting right now for Astrea. That's too many Queens, though, I think. Down goes the Robo. Oh, God. 2 more Phoenixes are not going to be what fixes this problem. That's for sure. Okay, he's almost done killing off roaches. He's just trying to reduce any damage he can. Probes come out. The probes turn around. Oh, man. I think DRG is going to take it. There's a lot of Phoenixes still flying about. Picking up some of the reinforcements. He's losing his natural. DRG is on 63 drones on 4 base. So his economy is actually like a solid 4 base economy. And that's a rich Vespine Geyser base. So yeah, it's a full economy. Yeah, the Immortal. Oh, 2 volley even with that overcharge. Oof. Still trying to pick up as much as he can. There's just not enough here to tank damage anymore either. Yeah, see that? The Archon being picked off in a matter of seconds. You know, every time he gets a lift, something dies. GG. It's rough. I like the strat. I like the ideas that Astrea is coming up with here on Neo Humanity. The quickest third bases I've ever seen in the matchup. The triple Stargate seems like a cool idea, but like I was talking about, you go across the map, you do some harass, and then they attack you. You don't have enough lifts, you know? But you can't not harass too, right? You can't not harass. Maybe there's a world where you can do that with Disruptor tech, because Disruptors destroy that type of attack. But that opens up a whole nother can of worms, because Phoenix Disruptor is the ultimate defensive comp. It literally can't attack. I've seen pros lose games because they defended like really well with like Disruptor Phoenix. They defended stuff you never thought they could defend. And then they're like, yeah, but this isn't an army, you know? All right, we're going to get into game number 3. See who's going to take this down. Gresfon going to be our map. The map that gives us the best games generally. All right, top left, we have Astrea. Bottom right, we have DRG. Really cool game so far. Seems like a pretty even match. Really unsure what we're going to see from Astrea. Maybe a more standard play here. But yeah, Neo Humanity is really the map where he's losing a lot. By the way, guys, I would like to ask you, please follow my Twitch channel. I appreciate it. If you would like to subscribe, that would be great. Twitch just told me an ad is going to start very shortly here. So if you subscribe, hopefully you don't get any ad. And also, you can help work towards the subscriber goal, which is me playing StarCraft 2 again after many years. So thank you. Yes, I am unmalloyed. Thank you, chat. So a Nexus first. A Nexus first straight up here from Astrea. I'd love to see, once again, him bringing something fresh that we don't see very often. And honestly, there's so few pool first builds nowadays. Makes sense, right? Whenever you're on that type of metagame where you're not getting many rushes from Zerg, because not much really works. People are very good defensively right now. You know, you go Nexus first and suddenly it's like, oh, you just have a slight advantage. Nice. So the double gate here, gonna throw down the Cyber Core. Yeah, I don't know what to expect exactly out of him from here. I mean, I'd imagine throw down a couple of depths or something. Oh, is that a tight wall? Did he just tight wall that? No, okay, yeah, it looks like Mapu's highlighting. I think he was looking at that too, like, wait a minute. That doesn't seem right. That wouldn't make too much sense. But yeah, it looks like there is a hole between the gateways, so never mind. Yep, I can see it now. It's hard when it's just the glowing, like, spheres. Double Adept Chrono Boost. Very nice build order from Astrea here. His probe count is going to just skyrocket. I'd love to see it. Of course, the 2 Adepts coming out can try to put on a little bit of pressure. Third base has been taken from DRG. Stargate on the way. It's going to be a good defensive tool here as well. Possibly some harassment. Would imagine that that's going to be Oracle. I'd be pretty surprised to see anything else. All right, Adepts sending in that shade, seeing what they can see. No, he's not going to finish. Oh, yeah, he will, actually. There's enough lings, though, so he just recalls out of here. Takes a bit of hull damage, but what can you do? That was good hiding of the lings. Based on what Astrea was seeing, I was like, oh, you know what? Only 4 lings there. You go between the mineral patches. Looks good. Third base being taken. Standard layout there. The lings coming across. Not enough to do anything, though. Tap the Nexus and turn around. Twilight coming up next. Should be seeing a Forge likely as well. I think here this is going to be Blink, I believe. I do believe. I'd be a little bit surprised to see anything else. Anything else is kind of like it's maybe hoping to catch your opponent off guard, whereas Blink here is very flexible and very strong. Oracle flying in a little bit, seeing what it can see, which is not very much with the Queen's flanking it there. Additional Oracle done, and there is that Blink upgrade as expected. Now, there's a lot of ways you can take it from here. We don't see Forges yet. You know, you can go like the older hero style and just expand more and make tons of gates. You could go the more modern style, which is get the Robo. And, you know, definitely get the 4th base up relatively quickly. Yeah, it's going to be adios to these Adepts shortly. Oh, nice little shade into the side here. Trying to get a few drones. Don't get too much damage. Oh, you actually will get that last one. No Forge still for Astrea. There it is. Okay. Felt like it was slightly late. We'll have to trust him here on his build order. I mean, it's always reasonable to just get some sort of economic damage done, even if it's not that much. Stalker's starting to walk out a little bit. Blink not quite done. Gonna bring his oracles around to help them out as well. The oracles can be very, very helpful with these blink pokes. Well, obviously you're gonna get rid of, you know, some creep there. But also just turning them on above the Stalkers against Lings coming in. Just it shreds them so quickly. All right, let's see what Micro is gonna look like here. Queen Ling not doing that great a job. Seems like DRG is caught off guard just slightly from this move out. Keeping that pressure on. The fourth base is going up for Astrea behind. For his DRG right now, like, he's got 65 drones, which is okay, but he's not even really mining from his fourth. And, I mean, this is some real reduction of his units. Astrea forcing a lot of units out of him and picking off quite a few as well. And look at this. He's got that stasis ward he can always go back to, which I do not believe DRG knows is there. He may suspect, though. But if you get a chunk of this army caught in that stasis ward, Astrea is going to smile so big. Try and pick up the queen. Some transfusions going down. Look at this. He doesn't even try to bait him into it. He's going to wait until it's time. That's a good move from DRG. Really, really well done. Triggers that stasis ward. Immediately, Astrea laying another one down. That's just for a retreat, possibly. Opponent's following too hard, has too many units. Get back there. Lots of units made by DRG, but he is going to go back into some droning. Astrea is up 20 drones right now, guys. Literally 20 workers up, which is insane. The Stasis Ward doing a pretty decent job there, slowing it. And look, he's got another one back here. Oh my god. That's the type of army where if the front third of that gets caught, the Stalkers just go absolutely ham on everything. Like, this is what you really want to get caught. It's the Lings are like kind of the free catches where Zerg's like, okay, thank god Lings set that off. All right, Astrea is slowing down for a moment. He is taking a 5th base location. More upgrades on the way, as well as some Zealots coming in. Templar Archives. Grabbing some more gases as well. This production so far has been primarily of these Stalkers that have been doing a good job, but trying to hit some other locations now. Some little run-bys. Yeah, again, a good trip there from DRG. Starting to push the creep back. Dude, he hasn't lost very much, has he? Only 7 Stalkers. That's crazy. Of course, the Zealot's not going to fare very well against that many roaches. Gets in here. He's going to be able to snipe a few queens. Really nice. DRG having a very hard time blocking this. Now, DRG is maxed. So the time to do something is now. He's pushing this back. He does have another group of roaches on the other side that was dealing with the Zealots. And those are approaching an expansion, but his army is split right now. Yeah, a huge warping of Zealots there. He's going to have to back up these roaches, it seems. Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you're maxing out and you're on 63 drones and you're maxed out on mostly roach, I feel like you need to pull that stuff together and attack. You know? Like, I feel like having, you know, this few drones and splitting your army to defend is like, oh, that's not what we're looking for. How do you win the game? All right, gets a little cancel right there. This warping not going to be that impactful as the Queens and Roaches push it back. Lurker Cavern on the way. Lurker Academy. Dude, I tell you, Astrea is playing just beautifully. He's taking a 6th base right now. Just amazing. The Observer watching this all as well. Just kind of staying on top. He sees exactly where everything's at, how close everything is. The cost efficiency isn't as good as I thought it was, but it's still pretty good for Astrea considering he's got, look at this, 93 workers. This is like watching Dark play like a ZVT. If only Banelings existed for Protoss, Astrea could just max out on him right now and roll to the back of the map. All right, Psystorm's starting to go down, so some technicality being added. Storm's his own Zealots like any true Protoss player will. But now that that technicality's in there and he's on like 6 base and he's kept DRG on this inferior tech, well, I mean, he is going into Lurkers. Can he get the critical mass of Lurkers that he needs to kind of secure his area and push into these other bases? Because like right now, 3 Lurkers, well, 3 Lurkers isn't that scary. Obviously, like, Lurkers are unbelievably strong against Stalkers. But, like, 3 Lurkers is not going to scare Astrea away. He's not going to be like, oh, I can't attack ever again. Okay, this is a good catch. This is a really excellent catch. He gets rid of mostly high-tech units. Little counterattack on the other side, though. The multitasking of Astrea looking magnificent here. Another Prism in the main. Dude, his multitasking is really good. Really good. He's in complete control of this game. GG. And that was a masterclass from Astrea right there. That was an excellent game. An excellent game.